You know, Mr. Speaker, one of the things that I'm most proud of is being from Minnesota. What a beautiful state that we have. People joke about how cold it is in the wintertime, but let me tell you, Minnesota is awesome all year round. And one of the things that we're so proud of is the boundary waters. Mr. Speaker, look at this picture. This is no glossed up photo. This is what it looks like, and it's awesome. Before I was in Congress, I was able to bring young people to the boundary waters who were court involved. One day the judge told me, Mr. Speaker, hey, Ellison, come up here. You want to take some kids to boundary waters? I said, fine. I kept doing it for 5 years straight because I love the place. And yet this bill will perhaps damage all that beauty, that gem of our state, which not only is a beautiful place that needs to be preserved for people, but also is a job generator. A lot of people earn good livings because of the boundary waters. And if we just pass this bill, what it will do is jeopardize their livelihood and our crown jewel of our state. This bill will grant a mining company the right to build sulfide ore copper mines along rivers and lakes that flow directly into the boundary waters. Sulfide ore copper mining has never been done without polluting water, and thousands of communities and wildlife will be at risk. You know, when you mine sulfide ore, water and air interact to create sulfuric acid. One leak or spill would contaminate substantial portions of the boundary waters, decimating wildlife and habitat and destroying the livelihoods of so many Minnesota workers. The waters of the boundary waters are especially vulnerable to acid mine drainage because they lack a buffering capacity. This bill is a bad idea, and I urge members to vote no. This bill will undermine core environmental laws, including the Antiquities Act, the Federal Land Policy and Management Act, and the National Environmental Policy Act. The Antiquities Act is a bipartisan conservation law to protect irreplaceable federal lands included in the Grand Canyon, Arcadia Forest, Zio, Muir Woods in California, and the Olympic National Parks. If they undermine the Antiquities Act, what else is at danger? Well, I'd say every national treasure of the United States. This attack on the Antiquities Act is an attack against our national parks and monuments, making this not only a Minnesota issue, but a national issue. This bill would permanently lock in all mineral leases on Minnesota's national forests by overriding 2 laws on mineral leasing in Minnesota's national forests that require Forest Service consent to any mining. They don't want to go around the regular process. They want to use Congress to short-circuit that process. If you've never been to the boundary waters, as I said, I urge you to go there. If you vote no on this bill, you will not just be protecting the boundary waters for yourself and people around all over the United States. You will be protecting it for your grandchildren. Much is said here about children and grandchildren. Think about the boundary waters when you think about the legacy that we are leaving our grandchildren and how H.R. 3905 would destroy and jeopardize that legacy. You know, economic analysis by Key Log Economics shows that sulfide ore mining on the Superior National Forest lands in the watershed of the boundary waters could lead to a loss of 5,000 jobs in tourism, 5,000 to 20,000 jobs in the rest of the economy. As people tout this bill as a job creator, it is a job destroyer. If you're an outfitter or you are a wilderness guide or you're a forest ranger, your job is just as important as anybody else's. And what this bill is saying, no, your job's no good, nobody cares about it, only the mine company's interests are important. We could stand to lose $0.16 billion in annual income and $500 million in reduction in private property values because of this piece of legislation. We shouldn't have to choose between a robust economy and a clean environment. Both. Saying no to this piece of legislation gives us a chance at both. Voting for it makes us pick one over the other, and not just economic interests, but certain interests, not everyone's. The Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management are currently conducting a 2-year study, folks, of the environmental, economic, and social impacts of copper mining in the headwaters of the boundary waters.
One more additional minute.
The gentleman is recognized for one more minute.
As I said, and I close here, and I thank the gentleman for the extra time, the Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management are studying this issue. But the author doesn't want to wait for the study because he knows the study's not going to help. They just want to drive this mine straight through without doing the proper care. More than 126,000 Americans participated in the study and asked for protection of the boundary waters. Minnesota voters opposed copper mining near the boundary waters by more than 2-1, and 79 support the current study. Members, vote no on this. This is a bad bill. It's not good legislation. And the damage it will do is not Republican, nor is it Democrat. It's American. Vote no. Thank you.